My name is Maria Jolicoeur. Welcome to my show, Let's Talk About History. Today I'm going to be talking about the Constitution and the Constitution Week. So I'll start off with the Constitution of the United States. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Constitution Week. Constitution Week is a commemoration of America's most important document. It is celebrated annually during the week of September 17th through the 23rd. The United States Constitution stands as a testament to the tenacity of Americans throughout history to maintain their liberties, freedoms, and inalienable rights. This celebration of the Constitution was started by the Daughters of the American Revolution. In 1955, DAR petitioned Congress to set aside September 27th through the 23rd annually to be dedicated for the observance of Constitution Week. The Constitution was later adopted by the U.S. Congress and signed into public law on August 2nd, 1956 by President Dwight D. Eisenhower. The DAR has also erected a structure that is built in tribute to the Constitution of the United States. DAR Constitution Hall, which is a performing arts center, opened in 1929. The aims of Constitution Week, a celebration, are to emphasize citizens' responsibilities for protecting and defending the Constitution, inform people that the Constitution is the basis for America's great heritage and the foundation for our way of life, encourage the study of the historical events which led to the framing of the Constitution in September 1787. Constitution Week is a great time to learn more about this important document and celebrate the freedoms it gave us. Get involved by encouraging young people to sign the Constitution Week Proclamation Pledge and ask your local community officials to issue a proclamation about Constitution Week. Teachers, you can put a display in your classroom about the Constitution. The history of the United States Constitution. This is taken from the Wikipedia website. The United States Constitution has served as the supreme law of the United States since taking effect in 1789. The document was written at the 1787 Philadelphia Convention and was ratified through a series of state conventions held in 1787 and 1788. Since 1789, the Constitution has been amended 27 times. Particularly important amendments include the 10 Amendments of the United States Bill of Rights and the 3 Reconstruction Amendments. The Constitution grew out of efforts to reform the Articles of Confederation. An early Constitution which provided for a loose alliance of states with a weak central government. From May 1787 through September 1787, delegates from 12 of the 13 states convened in Philadelphia, where they wrote a new constitution. Two alternative plans were developed at the convention. The Nationalist Party, soon to be called Federalists, put forth the Virginia Plan, a consolidated government based on proportional representative among the states by population. The Old Patriots, later called Anti-Federalists, advocated the New Jersey Plan, a purely federal proposed plan on providing each state with equal representation. The Connecticut Compromise allowed for both plans to work together. Other controversies developed regarding slavery and the Bill of Rights in the original document. The drafted Constitution was submitted to the Congress of the Confederation in September 1787. That same month, it approved the forwarding of the Constitution as drafted to the United States, each of which would hold a ratification convention. The Federalist Papers, published while the states were debating the Constitution, only if the amendments that were to become the Bill of Rights would be taken up immediately by the new government. In September 1788, the Congress of the Confederation certified that 11 states had ratified the new Constitution and directed that elections be held. The new government began on March 4th, 1789, assembled in New York City, and the government authorized by the Articles of Confederation dissolved itself. In 1791, the states ratified the Bill of Rights, which established protections for various civil liberties. The Bill of Rights initially only applied to the federal government. By following a process of incorporation, most protections of the Bill of Rights now apply to state governments. Further amendments to the Constitution have addressed federal relationships, election procedures, terms of office, expanding the electorate, financing the federal government, consumption of alcohol, and congressional pay. Between 1865 and 1870, the states ratified the Reconstruction Amendments, which abolished slavery, guaranteed equal protection of the law, and implemented prohibitions on the restriction of voter rights. The meaning of the Constitution is interpreted by judicial review in the federal courts. The original parchment copies are on display at the National Archives building. Constitution of the United States. This is taken from the webpage of the U.S. Senate. Written in 1787, ratified in 1788, and in operation since 1789, the United States Constitution is the world's longest surviving written charter of government. The first three words, "We the people," affirm that the government of the United States exists to serve its citizens. The supremacy of the people through their elected representatives is recognized in Article 1, which creates a Congress consisting of a state and a House of Representatives. The positioning of Congress at the beginning of the Constitution affirms its status as the first branch of the federal government. The Constitution assigned to Congress responsibility for organizing the executive and judicial branches, raising revenue, declaring war, and making all laws necessary for executing these powers. The President is permitted to veto specific legislative acts, but Congress has the authority to override presidential vetoes by 2/3 majorities of both houses. The Constitution also provides that the Senate advise and consent on key executive judicial appointments and on the approval for ratification of treaties. For over 2 centuries, the Constitution has remained in force because its framers successfully separated and balanced governmental powers to safeguard the interests of majority rule and minority rights of liberty and equality, and of the federal and state governments, more a concise statement of national principles than a detailed plan of governmental operation. The Constitution has evolved to meet the changing needs of modern society, profoundly different from the 18th century world in which its creators lived. To date, the Constitution has been amended 27 times, most recently in 1992. The first 10 amendments constitute the Bill of Rights. Annotated Constitutions. The Constitution of the United States of America, Analysis Interpretation, popularly known as the Constitution Annotated, contains legal analysis and interpretation of the United States Constitution based primarily on Supreme Court case law. The Constitution of the United States of America, Publication 103-22, 1994 PDF, prepared by the Office of the Secretary of the Senate with the assistance of John H. Killian of the Library of Congress in 1984, provided the original text of each clause of the Constitution with an accompanying explanation of its meaning and how that meaning changed over time. Why is Connecticut called the Constitution State? Because of Connecticut's early adoption of the Fundamental Orders in 1639, thought to be the earliest document of its kind in Western civilization. So if you would like more information about the Constitution and Constitution Week, please contact your local DAR chapter. And the one here is Faith Trumbull chapter. And I'm sure they'll be able to give you a little booklet, the Constitution of the United States, and it has the articles and the amendments, etc. So thank you for watching my show. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.